What's up, everyone? It's Chef Toya. I'm very excited to be re-releasing the Chicken and Sausage Gumbo video. Stay tuned till the end and you'll get some helpful tips. You see this setup? It makes everything flow smoothly. So line all of your ingredients up before you start so you can follow the recipe. We have flour and oil for the roux. We have garlic. We have the trinity, which is onion, celery, and bell peppers chopped. We have Cajun, normal sausage, and hot sausage meatballs, shredded chicken, and chicken stock. Now this, you can take it or leave it. I do this to sear the chicken and I shred it apart to have that good homey vibe. Or you could just simply get a rotisserie chicken and chop that up and do the same thing. You see those ripples at the bottom of the pan? That's letting you know that it's ready for the flour. You'll notice as soon as I add the flour in that it's starting to brown, and that's only because I am always cooking on a high because I'm just trying to get a lot of stuff done at one time. But I always suggest and tell everyone when they're first starting out to start on a good medium fire, and if you get a little nervous, it's okay. You can just turn it down some, but the thing you have to do is make sure that you keep stirring all of the time. And after a while, it's going to transition to this nice peanut butter color. This is not your stopping point, but this is one of the things I wanted you to notice how thick it's getting. That's just flour doing what flour does. It swells once it gets enough heat added to it. So you just keep moving it around, and if it starts getting too thick and too pasty, you can cut the fire down to really low or either remove it from the heat. Now, if you remove it from the heat, you can actually keep stirring it and it'll get to this beautiful chocolate color. The trinity. I add the trinity into the roux to calm the roux down so I can add it into the hot stock, because if you add the roux into the hot stock, it'll basically kind of explode. So you don't want that to happen. So the vegetables are going to cool it down. While I was making the roux, I had this on the other side of the stove getting hot. This is going to expedite the process of making the gumbo. I call it working smart, not hard in the kitchen. So you put that all together in that hot stock, and it speeds up the process of the roux binding to the stock to form that good liquidy, beautiful gumbo base that we all love to see. Now you're going to keep stirring it just to kind of speed the process up. There we go. Now we have the sausage and hot sausage meatballs. Lots of people saute them ahead of time. I do not saute the sausage ahead of time because I want the fat to be inside of the pot to influence the liquids. I notice a difference when I don't do that. So add the garlic in, let it simmer some, get it nice and bubbly. Then you're going to add the chicken and the drippings. That is Deliciousness USA. Now, this little thing right here, it doesn't have any seafood, anything that will cause an allergic reaction or anything like that. It's basically spices that would amplify the flavor of the seafood and stuff like that and highlight it and give it that New Orleans-esque flavor and scent. This technique beats the old school technique with a spoon any day. I mean, beats it with a stick, beats it any day. I take this and I put this into a separate glass bowl, and then I pour that into the trash and dispose of that. Never ever. Make sure if there's a kid around that they don't dump it in the sink. This is the gumbo. I'm going to list everything down below, and also I have some good helpful tips coming up for you. Alright, so now that we're done the gumbo tutorial, let's get with the tips. All right, like I always tell my students in class, when all else fails, revert back to the 6-step method. the 6-step method is you make the roux, you add the trinity, you add the stock, you add the meat, you add the seasoning, and then you let it simmer. And then that kind of relaxes the mind to let you know that, you know what, I can do this, I can tackle this, and I'm prepared. Chef Toya prepared me. Boom. I'm sure you noticed that the ingredients, the small amounts, you're like, oh my God, am I making a pot of gumbo for Polly Pocket? No, I felt like that was a good trial and error amount, and like my last gumbo video was like maybe a $75, $80 pot of gumbo that I was showing you how to make, when you could just take this recipe, try it one time, it works for you, or if you're bold enough to try it that one time that day before an event, boom, you know, do that and double the recipe, triple the recipe, do whatever you want. It's a base model gumbo, and I want you to feel good, so I really want you to feel comfortable adding your own flair to it. Add different spices if you want, whatever you feel, you know. I want this to be a good template for you to build your own feel from, and it still have that New Orleanian kind of vibe that you didn't go too far off the trail, you know. But you could add turkey necks, you could add seafood, all that kind of stuff at the end. The seafood that you add in at the end, you can I would say the last 20 minutes of cooking, I would add the seafood in. And if you want to add shrimp and crab, the crab, I'll put the link down below to teach you how to basically prep the crab for the gumbo pot. I have a video for that as well as a Roux 101 video, because you notice I did this roux pretty fast. But the Roux 101 video will solve a lot of problems and help you do a lot of studying before the big day. If you want to add the chicken in raw, you can chop it up. You don't have to worry about seasoning, because it'll take on the natural flavor of the gumbo. I mean, the liquid, the broth and stuff like that. But you can add that in right when you do the sausage. So you don't have to worry about it. But I just sometimes, it just got cold here, so I wanted that shredded chicken kind of vibe. And that's what I did. Took some chicken breasts and shredded them up. So if you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram handle is @ChefToya. Pretty simple. And don't forget to click subscribe. And also with the Instagram, I post really quick, easy meals in my stories, like stuff I just throw together. And maybe some stuff is like pre-purchased, and made and stuff like that, and I add to it to make it a quick, like 10-minute, 15-minute meal, those kind of things. I share those things because I'm a mom and I'm always on the go. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you have any questions, hit me up. Don't be afraid to. And I can't wait to hear about your results.